What is up, guys? Welcome, Crypto Fud. And let's jump right into this, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Having a great day. Markets are doing fantastic today. I mean, for the most part, definitely a lot better than what we've seen, right? So things are not looking bad today, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, like I said. Let's just jump right into this. We'll let everybody else trickle in as we continue. So Bitcoin right now is looking, honestly, Bitcoin's looking very bullish right now. I'm going to show you guys a couple things that are going on. I actually had a short opened up that I did close earlier just because I was like, you know what? We look like we're ready to run. I'm going to explain why I had a short, why I closed it, and we'll get into all that stuff. Right now, Bitcoin is around 96,700, so looking fantastic. You can see we are getting into this nice little wedge right here. Usually these wedge patterns will usually break towards the upside, and I'm thinking that we might see a nice run, guys. What have we been saying? Nice run. Now, cheers. Today, we're drinking a mango cart. It's actually pretty fire. I'm not a big mango person, but it's definitely really good. So, a couple things. Tomorrow, we do have a big day for macro. We are in a macro environment right now, guys. This week, I told you guys this. Been a lot of numbers just dropping on us. Tomorrow is going to be no different. We have the CPI report coming in tomorrow. So we're going to see how this plays out. What I like about CPI report days is it's not like we have to wait till 2 o'clock, in the afternoon or 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So whatever time it is, where you're at, obviously you would have to do the change. But the point of what I'm getting to is tomorrow morning, probably before a lot of you guys wake up, it'll be around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time where I'm at. It'll drop, and we can at least get it over with as far as how the markets are going to react, how the numbers are going to, actually portray themselves. Tomorrow, we're looking at a forecast of year over year. It actually came up a little bit. They're forecasting that we're going to see somewhere around the year over year 2.9. Core is going to come flat at around 3.3. That's what the Feds watch. If we can see at least these forecasted numbers, I think the markets are going to just probably, move towards the upside. The only time that I think that we're going to probably see some negative movement in the market is if inflation moves up a considerable amount. Meaning tomorrow, if we get something where the year over year comes out anything over 3%, to really 3% or up, the markets are going to probably react worse than we've ever seen, or worse than we've seen in a while in regards to CPI report days, right? We're coming out of this little area where when CPI dropped the last 6 months, it really hasn't been too much, right? Because the Feds have been reducing interest rates, so CPI reports haven't really been too of a big, mover as far as the markets. We'll see a little bit of fluctuations during those days, but nothing too crazy. Well, we're back into this macro kind of environment where, the markets are really focused on what is going on with inflation. There's a lot of people, a lot of big investors that are scared that the inflation is going to come back up, right? Which means you'll see a tightening with the Feds. Like we've been seeing, the last 2 years before they started reducing interest rates, we could see something like that come back, and the markets hate that. That's negative for the markets, right? We want to see interest rates come down. We want to see inflation come down. That's what's going to move the markets towards the side that we're looking for, and that's up and to the right. So with that being said, tomorrow that'll be dropping early in the morning, so we'll have that taken care of. I'm going to tell you this right now. The markets, if we didn't have CPI report coming out tomorrow, I would say the market, the way it looks like it wants to run. Right now, it looks like it wants to freaking run right now. But we have this damn report coming out tomorrow. So I think we're probably going to see maybe just a little bit of some sideways action, right? Maybe like we've seen today, nothing too crazy. We have seen some nice movement towards the upside. As of this morning, we did see a nice run up to about 97.4 on this chart. We've had some fluctuations where it's dropped back down to 95.7 and then right back up to 97.2. You can see obviously making lower highs but higher lows as we continue to move for the most part, which is setting up this nice wedge. Tomorrow, like I said, hopefully we'll get some good numbers and this thing will just take off. I do think that if tomorrow we see the right numbers that we're looking for, we could potentially see a possible $100,000 Bitcoin back in view. We do have a couple big things or big spots that are going to be as held as some resistance. Let me jump back over here to this chart. 99.7 is going to be a big spot for resistance, and then obviously 100,006 it looks like somewhere around there is going to be a big spot for some resistance as well. But we could see something like what we saw play out last week, where we just see a massive run where it just bypasses all these resistance zones and jumps into one of these spots up here into a channel. So hopefully that's what we're seeing, right? Because I mean, like I said, on the other chart you saw the wedge. We could even say particularly there's maybe a bull flag that's painted out as well, right? You can see sort of something like this, which all these indicators are usually very bullish, that we might see a nice move. I think it's just really going to be based off of the numbers that get dropped tomorrow. So regardless of that, we have a lot of bullish stuff ahead of us, guys. I've been telling you guys this for a while. We have a lot of bullishness coming, right? And it's going to be all about, I know, like I always say, I always have to say, if you love them, you hate them. I don't really care, right? But Trump's coming into office, and I think he's bringing that Trump pump right back, whether it's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Regardless, we have a lot of things that are poised to happen on the first day, the first week of him taking office, guys. And we've been talking about this, I feel like, for the last month, right? So let me jump in the chat real quick. What's up, Ricky? Jake's in the house. Let's see, Art. Let me see here. Feels super bullish to me. Exactly. I've been conditioned to expect a dump. Then you're starting to expect the that's how you play the game, right? You just expect that, or you start getting used to those kind of movements, right? You don't expect the dumps, right? But you just get used to that kind of movement where we see some, nice word movement towards the upside. And then you're like, you know what? We easily could drop back down. It's just part of crypto. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that if you zoom out on Bitcoin, we're just moving up. We really are moving up. If you look at like the monthly, right now, we always focus on these daily charts, these hourly. Sometimes I even break it down to the minutes. If you look at that, that'll drive you freaking crazy, and you'll think that Bitcoin just does like up and down, up and down. But if you really when in doubt, zoom out and you really look at the daily or the monthly, and you look at Bitcoin and a lot of these projects, right? Not just Bitcoin, but you look at a lot of these projects, and they just look like they've gone up, nothing but up, right? You don't really see those small dips that we're so fixated on daily and weekly. So Ricky said, I got to get off the 5-minute chart, right? Bro, I only zoom in on the charts, and I'm usually focused on like the 15, the 5, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, stuff like that when I'm doing quick trades like leverage trading and stuff like that. But, that's I just focus on that like the daily. But we already know if you zoom out, you can see that Bitcoin obviously is done nothing but move towards the up and to the right. So Jake said, so if CPI is below 3%, I can go all in. I mean, bro, I'm not going to tell you to do that, right? Because I don't have financial advice for you, bro. But all I can say is if we get that 2.9 or below, we'll most likely see some positive movement. Now, remember that year over year, the 2.9 is still technically inflation coming up 2 ticks. Remember yesterday they had it forecast at 2.8. They've actually revised the numbers, and it's at 2.9 now, which means they anticipate that inflation actually is going to come up slightly, right? So I'd be careful. Even if we see that 2.9, that might, maybe spook the market a little bit, just because year over year, it technically means that inflation has gone up slightly. Remember, the Fed's goal is for us to get down to 2% even. Do I think that's acquirable? Possibly, but we want to be heading in that direction. We don't want to be heading in the opposite direction. Now, inflation is going to kind of go like this. It's not going to just go like straight down. It's going to have times where it plateaus. It's going to have times where we do see a big drop down. And there's going to be times where you see it move up a couple of ticks, right? Because it's almost like one of these charts where it's just not going to come straight down. As it's coming down, it's going to have little spots where it is going to bounce, or it's going to maybe find some support, and it's going to maybe go sideways. So even though we anticipate that we're going to see inflation come up slightly tomorrow, I would imagine that it's probably already priced in, and it shouldn't spook the market much. Now, if we see it higher than expected, that's where I think we're going to probably see some negative movement in the market. So looking at the market, speaking of, for the daily, everything is in the green today, guys. Everything is in the freaking green. Do you guys remember like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, the markets were just, I think it was yesterday or the day before, the markets were doing absolutely terrible. And I pointed out this AI 16. I said, keep an eye out on this project. This thing has a lot of hype. It was down like 40%, and look at it. The biggest mover for today, yesterday it was up another 20%. This thing has moved considerably. Let me pull up the chart real quick on the DEX. But you can see, look at this. Remember I pointed out this bounce? Look at this run. And trust me, I'm right there with you. I said, look out for this project. Pointed the spot out. It bounced, and I didn't even buy in on the project, right? But you guys can see this thing freaking shot up like crazy. So if we see somewhat of a retracement again, I would keep an eye out on this project. This project has had a lot of eyes on it, a lot of hype on this project right here. This is AI16Z that is trading on Solana. So another thing, you guys know I like these projects, especially on Solana, because you can go straight to Jupiter or Radium and acquire these tokens for cheap, right? With very cheap swaps fees. You don't have to go necessarily onto the big central exchanges. So keep an eye out on that project, but it is running right now. Virtual is back up. Radium is doing really well. Speaking of swaps, up pretty good. Caspa has been doing very well. Shout out to everybody that's in Caspa. It's been doing very well again, starting to pick up that momentum. But I mean, across the board, it looks good. Other than maybe Sui down slightly, Ondo, Optimism, right? They're really not down crazy. They're down 1% to 2%. Nothing too crazy. And we have KuCoin. Their actual KuCoin token is down. But for the most... Oh, man. Fartcoin's down 1%, guys. Damn it. Fartcoin's down. Damn it. Put everything I had in Fartcoin. Can't believe it. Just kidding. Fartcoin, remember, it was up like 40% yesterday. So, I mean, the fact that it's only down like 1% today, not too bad. Holding some gains. But most of the freaking market, I mean, I would say 99% of the market right now is doing great. And even what I like is that it's not just utility projects. It's not projects that have fundamentals. It's also meme coins that are not doing bad. Bunks up 5%. Let me see here. Ethereum's up 3.5% today. Nice. Ladies is up about 6%. XRP's killing it, which I told you guys yesterday it was going to. Absolutely killing it. I said Bunks up 5%. Pepe's up 4.9%. Myro, yes sir, with the 7% gain for today. Let's go, let's go. Not looking bad at all, guys. And look at the dominance right now. You can see yesterday, remember I told you that we had a little bit of a spike in dominance. We are forming, and this is on the short term, a nice little M pattern that's formed on the Bitcoin dominance, which tells me that we might come down maybe just to retest this 57.9 area right here. Nothing too crazy, but that's probably an indicator of why we're seeing Bitcoin also moving up, but also we're seeing alts not doing bad, which usually indicates that confidence is starting to come back into the market. Now, fear and greed right now is still lagging behind at around 46 on the neutral, which I pointed out yesterday was not financial advice, but I said usually this is a good time to be just dollar cost averaging in, right? When you're in that neutral, you're kind of in that fear area. It usually means that projects are basically oversold, right? And it's usually a good time, historically speaking, to just be to dollar cost average in on any projects that you've been looking for. So definitely took advantage of that. I've been just DCAing on these dips, right? Just adding to my bag. I started to buy in a little soon. Remember I told you guys that I had sold out previously. Let me zoom out of this damn 15-minute chart here. But I had told you guys that I had sold out, right? Because we had called this bear flag before it actually broke out. And I said, guys, listen, we're getting some top signals here. This is when we were basically at like 104, 105. We didn't even break to all-time highs. But I was like, guys, listen, we got some top signals here. Now, Bitcoin probably will continue to move up. But at some point, we're going to probably break towards the downside. And I wasn't expecting a big crash. Kind of like what we saw is what I've expected. But when we dropped down, remember I sold out, right? Moved all my assets to stable coins. and jumped out, and then I started acquiring back here. Well, Myro was at like 6.8 cents, somewhere around there. You can see as of yesterday, Myro dropped down to 4.5 cents. So I was buying in a little early. But what do I always tell you guys? For me personally, I don't just go all in. So if I'm spending maybe $1,000, $2,000 or whatever the case is on, whatever projects I'm buying back in on, I'm not just throwing everything at once, right? Unless there's like a flash crash, like one of those crazy days. I'm usually going to just dollar cost average in. I will get a bigger bag initially just to get that foundation going, but I will dollar cost average in as we continue to come down. And that's exactly what I've been doing. So as we've been dipping, my portfolio has been slightly in the red, but I'm not really, I wasn't really complaining. I was just buying the dips, because I told you guys I was anticipating that as we get closer towards the inauguration, closer out of January, historically speaking, remember we spoke about this, and I know someone brought this up in the chat for the Discord. We pointed this out. I won't jump too much into it, but we pointed this out on on the members only stream. That last time we had the last election, this was in January, Bitcoin actually dropped down 30% during January. For 3 weeks, Bitcoin dropped 30 freaking percent as the new administration came in. This was in 2021, right? Because 2020 was the election year. Look at the similarities. We saw a nice run, right? Kind of like what we've seen in 2024. We saw this massive run up, and then New Year's hit. The new administration was setting up to get going in January, and bam, we saw a 30% move as of New Year's going in towards the later part of January, which is basically 4 years exactly as today, right? But look what followed. We saw a massive move up and a nice run, Bitcoin running to make new highs, as it already did. Kind of like we saw in 2024, 2020, it did almost the same exact thing. So, I pointed that out as well in the last week or two that we're seeing some similarities. I don't think it's going to be exact same as far as time frame or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar, just because it's the same kind of time we have right now, right? As far as election, how the markets are. 2020 was a very bullish year. 2024 was very bullish, right? And hopefully we see how 2021 played out, right? We saw a massive run. We did see a big retracement during the middle of 2021, right? But then only to see a massive run up again, making all-time highs. Now, you guys remember during that time we had a lot going on, worldwide. We don't have that hopefully going on right now or going into this year, so maybe things are going to be slightly different as far as that big retracement. But, it's crypto. You always have to expect some kind of a retracement, especially after major pumps. So things look good, guys. Things look great. Honestly, I'm very happy. Hopefully, everybody's been kind of eating up those dips and not being too scared. But, I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow after the CPI report, if it plays in our favor, we see a massive run. And what do you think all these meme coins, what do you think all these alts are going to be doing? XRP, I already told you guys. Did you guys remember me saying this yesterday? That I wouldn't be surprised if we see a $3 XRP very, very soon. And look, XRP is literally right away from its highs right now, from these local highs that it just made. You're about 8.8, we'll call it 9% away from these highs that we just formed recently. So, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week or two, probably in the next week, that we see XRP freaking break $3. Now remember, XRP is especially bullish because they're running off of a lot of things with this election, right? With Trump coming into office, but particularly Gary Gensler getting the boot in 6 days from now, right? Because remember, they've been going back and forth with old Dirty Gary and his goon squad, which they call the SEC, right? So he's getting the boot. I'm sure the SEC is probably going to get a whole shakeout. XRP is running off of that, on top of a lot of other things that they have going on. I think a lot of people are just very bullish on XRP and XRP's future. So definitely nice to see. Let's see here. Jake said yesterday Bitcoin went below 90K. I know. Isn't that crazy? We hit 89.5, I think. 89.5. Art said Cookie Dale. Ski, all right. Are they all pumping? We can pull those up in a second here. We're gonna read through some articles real quick, and then we'll jump in the charts. Let's see here. Jake said all in on Fartcoin is crazy. So what are you judging me now, bro? You judging me because I threw everything in on Fartcoin? Sheesh. I was told it was a good project, bro. Flips in the house. What's going on, bro? Ricky said, where's Fartcoin? I didn't get the Fartcoin alert. Twan, what's going on, bro? I haven't seen you here in a minute. Twan said, hey, Crip, your last bull run, was it similar to this one in your opinion? You know, bro, so the last bull run, you guys know I jumped in. I jumped in on in the crypto space at the end, not at the end of the bull run, but it was at the end of 2020, right? So when I jumped in, I, coming in as a new investor, didn't even realize that we had been pumping like crazy, right? So I come in like November, I don't remember the exact days, but I come in, I remember I was buying Doge at like freaking 2 cents, right? And I'm buying like crazy. This is like November, December, and I didn't even realize it. But like I told you guys, I jumped in and we saw this big drop in the whole market. Alts freaking went down like crazy, you know. And I was like, I'm like thinking about life decisions here. I'm like, should I be freaking throwing money into this? I'm like, holy crap, you know. And it ended up playing out really well because I just kept buying and buying and buying, you know. So the reason why, you know, it's like almost like if someone. Me jumping in at that time frame, I feel like it's almost like someone jumping in at the end of 2024, right? Kind of the similar where the markets have been running, right? And we've seen somewhat of a retracement, right? Imagine all those people that were FOMOing in. So a lot of them sold off, right? Sold off at losses, you know, questioning their life choices, right? Only to see the market is going to prevail at some point and we're going to keep making all-time highs. You know, so, and those people, most likely a lot of them will come FOMO and back in. So I would say so far, you know, it's, I don't really remember how it was, you know, when I jumped in. I was just buying and really just, I wasn't really too big on like YouTube or anything like that. I was just buying crypto and just keeping to myself, you know, but it looks like this year, 2025 is going to play kind of similar to what we saw in 2021. So Gina, what's going on? Gina's birthday is tomorrow, guys. Don't forget, we have a big party set up for Gina. So tomorrow, Gina is finally going to be 21, right? So she's gonna get a GoFundMe set up so we can set up her bar tab. Finally going to be the big 2-1, Gina. Gina said, damn, bro, you got a good memory. I forgot that before the stream was over. Hell yeah, man. Jay, let's go. Jay said, Crip, what do you think of five projects or Pi projects? A buddy of mine was talking about it. Honestly, bro, I'm not too familiar with them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not too familiar with them, dude. But that's something we can look into on like a members only stream. We definitely can. So let's jump into some articles real quick, guys, and why I'm pretty freaking pumped up for this next week coming up. We just need to get the CPI report, you know, in our favor and get past. So if you guys know this guy, I forgot his name, is it Pompolino? What's his first name? Anthony, right? Yeah, Anthony. This guy's like a big YouTuber right here, but dude's been making it mainstream for crypto, and he's like become a crypto advocate, right? So this article is basically, I guess he urged Trump, Bitcoin is good for the U.S. economy over the long run. So famed investor and Bitcoin advocate Anthony has offered 3 pieces of advice to President Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, to help him become the first Bitcoin president. That has a ring to it, right? The first Bitcoin president. You know he wants to be that, right? So the first one is repeal SOB 121. In a video posted on January the 14th, which was today, Pompolino, call him Anthony, outlined 3 actions Trump could take to push Bitcoin prices much, much higher. His first recommendation was to repeal Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121, which prevents banks. Remember, we covered this. We covered this when the current administration actually put this in effect. And it says it prevents banks from holding digital assets on their balance sheets without classifying them as liabilities, right? So it basically, what they did was they, because you have to remember, the current administration, not all of them are against crypto, right? But you had these strong voices in this party, particularly like Elizabeth Warren and a few other of them that were very loud, right? And how much they hate Bitcoin, right? But they love banks. And that's like odd, right? Because banks, I don't have a problem with banks as long as you have money. You're probably on a good terms with banks, but you have to be careful because at any way they can, they're trying to freaking get money off of you, right? So it's like, it's a little weird when she's sitting here saying that she's advocating for the small guy, but she's telling you she loves banks, which are trying to, put their hands around the small guy's neck and ring him of everything he has, right? While banks have no accountability. If anything happens with them, they get bailed out. As we just saw, a year and a half ago, a lot of Silicon Valley banks, went down, and they basically got, they were basically revived from the government. So let's see here. So it prevents banks from holding digital assets on their balance sheets without classifying them as liabilities. According to Anthony, eliminating SAB 121 would free banks to hold Bitcoin on behalf of their customers, which could significantly increase demand for the digital currency. So something like this right here, guys, I don't think people realize how big this is, right? Imagine if you can actually move your Bitcoin, I'm sure it's not going to be every freaking crypto, but imagine if you could move maybe some of your bigger projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and maybe a few other ones. You can move them over into your bank, like into your bank account, right? Remember, everything is federally insured up to $250,000. That would be very big for the banks, but not only the banks, but for crypto itself. So that would be something very big right there. The next one, which I think we're going to see in the next week, potentially, is establishing a strategic reserve. So Anthony's second suggestion for Trump would make good on prior promises to establish a national Bitcoin reserve. He pointed out the U.S. government already holds approximately 200,000 Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Creating a reserve would involve adding to that position rather than selling it. And you guys know, we had fears that the government was going to potentially, move that 6.5 billion Bitcoin in the next, few days. Hopefully that does not happen, right? And then the third is change the tax code. Finally, Anthony urged Trump to introduce a tax reform that changed the way Bitcoin is treated under the current tax code. At present, Bitcoin is classified as property, meaning that any purchase of goods or services using the digital currency triggers capital gains tax. So with that being said, I'm sure they're trying to move it into some kind of a different tax break or tax bracket. It's almost like right now Bitcoin, it's pretty much classified same thing as if like you were selling a house, right? You sell a house. If you don't, what's the rule in the government? If you don't buy, I think, a house within like a certain amount of time, again, you get taxed on that, and that's capital gains, which can be up to, depending on where you're at, could be up to almost 30-40%. That's a massive tax right there. So something like that could be also, holding people back from wanting to buy in on crypto or Bitcoin, particularly because of something like that. So. And now the next article, last one right here, Bitcoin surges past 97,000 on speculation of Trump's day one crypto policy. So we won't go crazy because it's going to kind of mimic what we just saw. But remember, this is what we've been talking about. We've been getting news off of these sites that a lot of insiders, people that are close to Trump, have been stating that he is still very much so ready to sign executive orders day one in regards to establishing a strategic reserve. I think something like that, guys, something like that could be equivalent to the ETFs. I said it, yes. That could be equivalent to something like the ETFs, right? Something so big like that, guys. Because this means that now the government, the U.S. government, that controls the US dollar, the strongest currency in the world right now currently, is going to be, not only are they going to be holding Bitcoin, but they're going to be acquiring Bitcoin on however they set it up, holding it as a strategic reserve. That is big, not only because of the United States, but imagine all the other countries that are aligned with the states that are going to follow suit. We already have some countries that have already done it, right? But imagine after the U.S. does it, you're talking about a lot of European countries, right? You're talking about probably a lot of countries in South America, and I'm sure you're probably in every single continent are going to probably mimic something similar. And imagine what that could do for not only Bitcoin, but for the crypto space, guys. When I'm telling you that this next week, this next 6 days are going to be big, and it's going to be big as far as just, I feel like just the pump, the momentum is going to be building up. What are we going to see after it? Who knows? But I think long term, something like what we just talked about, this strategic reserve particularly, along with a lot of other things, but this particular reserve, I think is something that's going to just be talked about for a while. So very big stuff coming, guys. Very big stuff, guys. Like I said, we said this yesterday. You have to be careful because the market, we go through these times where it's just seems like everything is just against crypto, and it's just so bearish, and we're seeing bad days on days, and sometimes weeks on weeks, right? But you see how fast things can change, right? And we haven't even really changed yet. I mean, Bitcoin is having a fantastic day. I'm happy just to see Bitcoin away from 90K, right? Now, like I said, things can change at any minute, but I'm just happy to see that Bitcoin has finally moved towards the upside, and we're seeing some green across the markets, and it just looks like the market is setting up for a nice big move if Bitcoin allows it. If like the CPI report tomorrow is really, I think, the only negative thing that we have in front of us right now, potentially negative. So, but it just seems like everything is reset in the market, right? Alts right now, if you think about it, think about 2 months ago, a month ago, how high some of these alts were. Solana was at what was Solana at just a few months ago? Solana just a few months ago was at 260. We're at 188. That's a big move towards the downside, right? These projects, all of them, I'm just bringing Solana as an example, but Memecoins got hit even worse, right? A lot of these projects have reset. So if you've been acquiring, or if you did sell when No FUD was saying that he was selling at the top, and you've been buying back in, I think you're going to see some massive gains coming up here soon. I really do. I think everything has kind of reset itself to where we're back into that over kind of sold area. We've been there, and I think things are ready to start rocking and rolling, guys. So we'll see how it goes, but you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm very bullish. Like I've been saying, I'm very bullish, on this next week. Now, what's going to happen after a week from now? I think we're still going to be moving up, but I say just, who knows what we're going to see after the inauguration, because I still do think that some of these people, some of this pump that we're gonna see, is gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be short term, as far as just kind of buying in on the rumor and then selling the news. So depending on how high Bitcoin gets, we're gonna see a retracement at some point, right? Whether it be the day of, or the day after, or a week after the inauguration. That's gonna be a big spot too, because we're gonna need to see where we got to and where we're gonna be retracing. So, but we'll let that go from there. So. We'll let that go from there. Ricky said the banks are not happy watching all that money walking out of their doors and going into crypto. But I mean, it's crazy because I don't agree with that necessarily, Ricky. I think that's what the narrative was when they really were scared that like Bitcoin was going to try to take out the dollar and stuff. But I think they've come to their conclusion that Bitcoin's not trying to take out the currency or anything like that. So just like anybody, right? You move money into these central exchanges, or you move money into wherever you're moving it, and you're buying these projects. At some point, you are moving the money back into your bank account, right? Because at the end of the day, you're probably not buying anything with Bitcoin or any of your your meme coins or anything like that, right? So at some point you are moving the money back into the bank, and hopefully if you do everything right, you're moving more money back into the bank that you took out, right? So I feel like on the bank's end, it's a win-win for them as well. And imagine if they relieve some of those regulations and the bank's actually able to hold some of those digital assets. Now you don't even necessarily, because if they're allowing you to hold it, they're probably going to start allowing you to, you never know, your bank might, just like PayPal, you might be able to go on your bank app and actually buy Bitcoin, right? Buy Ethereum, buy Solana, buy XRP, right? Doesn't that sound kind of like the direction that we're headed? Obviously, they need to relieve some of these hurdles, but that should, kind of put you under, give you understanding of how big some of these things are if they come into fruition, so let's see here. Green Easy, that purple Bitcoin is flying. My boy's back. That purple Bitcoin is flying. Got 2 exchanges listed so far, 10,000 plus holders, large X followers, and 19.3 million supply with the burn function in place. Nice. Hey, you got to give it to him. My boy has been very he's what's the word I'm looking for? My boy's been very true to that purple Bitcoin, right? So you got to give it to him. Hope it pays off, bro. Jake said the banks are scared of XRP, not Bitcoin. Ask old Dirty Gary. Ask old Dirty Gary. I'm glad I picked up some more. Remember I told you guys I picked up Milady again? Well, when we dropped down to this final drop down here, I ended up picking up a nice little a continuation of a bag, right? Because I wanted to bring my average down a little bit. So pretty stoked on that. Myro's not doing bad today. Nice little V shape that we have going on right now. Memecoins not doing bad. Where's that at? Because my portfolio was looking pretty juicy. Let me see. Where's Memecoins? Where's my boy Memecoins? Show your face, Memecoins. There you are. Oh, it's up about 4%. It was up a lot more. But this thing has dropped like crazy, dude. Such a great buying opportunity, in my opinion, still right now for Memecoins, right? So I'm on the road. I'm trying to pick up 1 million Memecoins, which I know some people are like, oh, I have a few million. Well, sorry. But I'm trying to pick up that 1 million Memecoins. Not far. I'm not far. Twan said, "Milady to the moon." What's going on, Rugged? What's going on, brother? But that's pretty much that for the articles, guys. I mean, that's pretty much what we're going to keep an eye out on. Tomorrow, like I said, we have the CPI report, right? So we'll, hopefully everything plays out in our favor for tomorrow with that. And I think after that, I honestly, let me just verify real quick. I don't think we have anything else as far as macro for the next week or two. I say that and there's 5 different things here. Retail sales, housing. I think those are going to be pretty much nothing. Hell yeah, bro. Ricky, no Diddy on that one, bro. All right, I got to sneeze. You guys know it wouldn't be a good stream if I don't sneeze live on air. Sheesh. There's a cold going around. It's not going to get me. What are we looking like for volume right now? Volume technically down today a little bit. I think it's down today. We're at 123 billion. We're down because we saw a massive spike in volume yesterday because of those big sales that we were seeing. But I mean, it's pretty much average for today, a little over 100 billion. Market cap's gone up almost 3% for today, which is great, which means money's coming in and staying in for right now. Rug, I appreciate it. Jake, thank you so much. Thank you guys. What meme coins are we looking at, guys? Let's pull them up. Oh, you guys, remember yesterday I pointed out this project as well. What is this? Coder Girlfriend. Look, well, as of earlier, if you guys remember yesterday, I was pointing it out, and this thing actually spiked up like 40% from yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry, let me retrace that. It spiked up 69. Hey, 69% yesterday when I pointed it out, saying that this was probably a good little buy area, not financial advice. Again, did not take advantage of my own advice on that one. That was a nice little pump that it had on there. So this project usually does pretty well. I mean, the volume right now, you can see it's at a little under 300,000. This thing was pumping out $1 million days like consecutively, like for weeks on weeks, right? Since it's pretty much dropped, it's been out for about 4 or 5 weeks. It's had massive volume throughout its launch. So I mean, the fact that it's down under $1 million, definitely going to keep an eye on it. I wouldn't buy just because it just pumped up 70%. But we'll see here. It looks like this spot right here that we just marked is a spot where it likes to kind of find that support and then start running. And that's exactly what we've seen so far. We had just a quick bounce off of there, and this thing is starting to move towards the upside for now. So definitely going to keep an eye on it. Coder Girlfriend, or Coder GF, is what the project is on Solana. Virtuals, yeah, we'll pull it up. I know it's up like crazy again. Yeah, nice little run. This project was just, I mean, since it like started running, it was just like every day. And then finally the market kind of pulled it down. But you can see it looks like it's having a nice V-shaped recovery right here. Didn't even need to come down. I think we talked about this. But it didn't even need to come down to the 618 where it has support. It came pretty much midway between the 0.5 and the 618 at around this $2.23, we'll call it. And then look at this nice spike that it's seen. And on the way up, you can see it ran up and it looks like it found support at the 0.5, right? So that's very bullish right there. Excuse me. But nice move towards the upside. And I remember I said this yesterday, guys. I'm not like, oh, I said this, said that. 40%, look at that, 37%. I said yesterday, I said, right now, I feel like we're getting blessed with some of these prices on these altcoins, right? And just if you were just to freaking buy in yesterday and sell off today, I mean, something like this, you're up 37%, right? The last project I just showed you that was on DeFi, up 70% from yesterday, right? Like, I mean, there was massive gains from yesterday just because we saw such a big drop, right? We saw such a big drop in Bitcoin and alts. I even told you guys yesterday, I was like, some of these alts kind of got into a scary, where I was like particularly I was like looking at Myro and it had dropped down. I had never had the opportunity to buy under 5 cents on Myro since it came out, right? And it dropped down to 4.8 cents yesterday. And I was just like, looking like, oh, I mean, I was happy I bought more, but I was just like, damn. I was like, holy crap. I was like, I've never seen Myro drop this low. I was like, freaking altcoins are really, they're going through it right now. I was like, this is obviously a blessing, but I was like, shit. It was even hard for me to hit that buy button and add to my bag because I was just like, is this thing going to like drop down to like 1 cent now? I was like, holy crap. So... But yeah, I mean, even something like Myro, we see from the bottom from yesterday up about 15%. And I'm sure we can go, through it all, right? We can go through it all. Yesterday, XRP, what's the move on XRP? From the bottom from yesterday, XRP about 14%, right? So a nice little move on XRP as well. Milady better be producing that 14%. Let's see. All right, we'll give it to her. 13.6%. We'll give it to her. Right? We'll give it to her. Carrot, yeah. Let's see what Ricky's got going over here. Let's see. Well, a couple things. I'm looking at the daily right now, Ricky. And I will say it looks like pretty much where it bounced yesterday. It's where it's pretty much the bottom of this project where it's kind of found some support. I put the support line right there where it bounced twice, but you can see it did briefly on this last, this was back in September. It dropped a little, like slightly below before making a big run. So, I mean, definitely doesn't look bad at all. Let me zoom in now on this. I was thinking there was a potential W pattern with the double bottom, but I don't know if I'm going to say a W. I don't know if I'm going to say W. All I will say about this project, bro, is, I mean, it looks like it's retesting this support level that it's tested previously before a nice run, right? So, I mean, all in all, if you're long-term on this, even from where you're at right now, probably not a bad time, in my opinion. I mean, it's only up from the bottom about 9%. So, definitely in a good buy zone, in my opinion, right, for this project. You can see last time we were in this area, it definitely went on a nice run. So, I'm sure this thing probably has a very small market cap. Oh, yeah, 50 million. It's traded on Coinbase, Crypto.com. Oh, yeah. I like when they do this right here. You see the unlock schedule? I like when CoinMarketCap does this. I guess they can't provide it for all the of the projects, but you guys can see the unlock schedule for this project. So right now, and this is what I would say, just be very, just be cautious with this, Ricky. 185 million in circulation right now, but total supply is 1 billion, right? So it's at about 18.5% circulating right now, right? Make sure my math is right. Yeah, 18.59. So, you can see off of this chart right here, they looks like they're like slowly releasing like every I don't know if this is every month or what, but they're slowly releasing more into circulation. So, I mean, as long as volume and investors are coming in, you shouldn't see much from that, but I would just be cautious, right? Because in the next, probably at the end of this year, you're probably going to have, if this will show me, oh yeah, the end of this year, you're going to be at somewhere around a little over 300 million, which would be almost double the circulating supply right now at the end of this year. So keep that in mind. But small market cap, and it looks like it has some potential, especially where it's at right now, potentially to rip. Art said Soul is hurting. What's the matter? What's the matter with Soul? I mean, really, bro, it's not that bad. I mean, it dropped considerably down to 169. So, I mean, it's what is it? What did we just see? It was at like 15% up. Oh, I'm sorry, 11. Damn it, I gotta sneeze again. Man, I better not be getting sick. Excuse me, guys. I better not be getting sick over here. I'll be freaking pissed. If I get sick, I'm going to still come live. I'm going to have tissues and everything. I'm going to still be on here live. They're not taking us out, bro. They're not going to take us out. Art said Cookie Deo. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me bring that up, brother. You said it's on base? Is this it right here? Yeah, this is it right here on base. Look at this. What is this? Look at that. That's got to be a glitch. It's like glitching the whole chart out. Look at this. Oh, yeah, it's funny. So this project, I mean, the market cap 176 million, liquidity at 335,000. It's not locked, which, you know, it is what it is. Volume's not too bad at $3 million in volume. It says the utility token and the representation of a value of information. I mean, it doesn't look bad, dude. It's got it. The numbers aren't bad. The volume, you know, it's definitely 3 million solid for the project. It's definitely on an upward trend for right now. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make a fib retracement because the chart keeps going like crazy on me. Let me see here. Is this the chart? Okay. I'm guessing this is the chart now. You guys saw that glitch, right? It was like glitching out. Now it's like acting normal. So it looks like you guys ran up on the 382, which is somewhere around the 57 cents. And looks like you guys formed some kind of an M pattern double top. Excuse me. So you'll probably be coming down slightly, but I would imagine for this right here that if you guys do come down, it's probably going to find some support on this previous resistance that you've had. Look at this spot you bounced off of it, or I'm sorry, you've hit your head on this multiple times. So I would imagine if this M pattern does play out, you'll probably come down towards around the 53 cent mark right there. Hopefully that holds and you guys can come back up to retest the 382 right there at the 57. So, but if not, if you're looking for buy zones, obviously not financial advice, but buy zones, I would say anything below this 0.5 area, which is 49 cents. We'll just call it 50 cents or below, will probably be a good buy zone if you're long term on the project. So, oh, this got listed on Binance? No effing way. No effing way, bro. It did, bro. What the hell? They listed this on Binance? That's crazy. When did it get listed on Binance? I can almost imagine it probably got listed towards New Year's. It looks like, most likely. Let me see here. Binance will list by virtuals. What is this? Hold on. Binance will list AXBT by virtuals, Chain GPT, and cookies with C tag applied. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they did. I see it. It says, please note that these are already listed on Binance Alpha Market. Okay, nice. Oh yeah. Well, that'll definitely move the project. That's awesome. And what I love about that, bro, is like, you know, you were able, you know, before that Binance listing, you were able to acquire it, you know, through swap, through Binance, or through Base. So, and Base is basically Coinbase's DeFi, right? So that's why Coinbase probably hasn't even listed it. It got listed on freaking Binance, but you can buy it off of, you know, through your DeFi wallet from Coinbase, you know, so. And Jake said sick day streams is dedication. Now, I'm not saying I'm definitely going to be there, but because I complain a lot when I'm sick. Twan said Fred on Soul. What is it? Fred on Soul? Is it the first convicted raccoon? Poor little guy. Is this the guy that passed away? Gotta bring this back up, bro. Gotta bring this wound back up. The project's actually thriving, though, really well. Right? Where's Peanut been? We have to check Peanut. But, I mean, this project's thriving if this is one we speak of. Market cap, 26 million. Liquidity looks good at 2.5 million. Volume, 3.2 million, 3.3 million for this project that's been out, for 2.5 months. Not saying anything, I felt bad for these animals that passed away. But you would have thought this was just going to be like, it dropped. People made their money and they got the hell away. Which it kind of looks like if you zoom out on the project, right? You see this massive run up, and you can see obviously the trend is towards the downside. But, you're still seeing a thriving project here. Obviously, it's dropped down to some levels, but I mean, it is getting spikes, towards the upside. And it looks like it's kind of leveled out as of late. So I'll put the bottom at that 1.4 cent mark where it kind of, it basically found the bottom consolidated before going on a nice run for right now. And you might, potentially see somewhat of a W pattern forming as well. So, I mean, the project doesn't look bad. I think it's at a stage now where, hopefully they can get on some like major exchanges, and take it to the next level for this project. So Ricky said Fred's going to come back to life. Damn, bruh. Poor raccoon. And it's one thing, you see them, they get hit and they run out in the street, but this guy had the SWAT team run up on him and they smoked him, bro. Like, it was messed up. Him and Peanut, right? Him and Peanut. Maybe potentially a bull flag playing out here as well. So we'll see. We'll have to come back on here. Let me pull up Peanut just because we haven't seen that project in a while. See if this thing is thriving. Why was Peanut a base project? Nah. They changed the picture on Peanut. They changed it. Look at this project, bro. This shit's still thriving like crazy. Market cap's at 600 million. Freaking liquidity's at 12 million now. Peanut, I know Peanut's like on Binance, right? Pretty sure, yeah. They're on Binance, Coinbase. So they're going to just continue to thrive. Right? These are, these projects are basically with the big dogs now. So you're going to see them thrive for sure. But I mean, it's crazy to see these projects still running in the same picture as Fred. They smoked both of them, bro. It was messed up. ...2024 was a hell of a crypto year, guys. We definitely saw a lot of shit go on, right? Friggin' feds running and kill two animals, and then they become two big ass meme coins, like freaking crazy, absolutely crazy. I hope that the people that are running that project have we'll say bless the owner, the guy that lost the two animals, because that was their life. They posted them. They had really big YouTube followings, so they really did, guys. Yeah, Crypto Ricky said Hawk Tua. Let's pull up that project real quick and see if what's going on with that. Whew. Bro, are you kidding me right now? Look at the volume. Did we pull up the right project? We did. Oh my gosh. Look at this, guys. This is why you do not buy. I'm not even going to call her a celebrity, but you do not buy in on any of these celebrity projects. This happened to every single celebrity project that got dropped, right? Unless you buy in, you stumble across these projects, at the perfect time, right when they drop, and you're able to just jump in and jump out, do not buy in. Not financial advice, but I would not, in my opinion, be anywhere near these projects. This thing was at $500 million? Look at it. Its market cap, $4 million. Liquidity has dropped down to $600K. But really what's got me going is look at the volume, guys. $3,000 for the day. $3,000. Absolutely crazy. But what do you expect? What do you expect, right? Ricky said she spit on that thing. I think she made money, but I'm telling you, I said this when we talked about that, like we pulled up the story when it was all happening. I guarantee she doesn't know anything about crypto, right? And she definitely doesn't know anything about running a project or releasing a project on Solana. But the people around her, right? And I don't think they were her friends. They were just people that probably contacted her and were like, hey, we should do this. They're the ones that used her name, dropped the project, and basically siphoned most of the money out. They paid her probably $1 million just to use her name and to promote it, right? And she's taken all the backlash from it, from what it looks like. So, was it right for her to do? Particularly, probably not. But at the same time, these people should know. Not, you don't invest in something like that. Come on. Or if you do, get in and get out. Get your money and get the hell out. It's just like stumbling across a DeFi project that just dropped on Solana. It's like 90% chance of rug pull. Yeah, I know, Art. She's getting sued. And it is what it is. I'm not saying I feel bad for her, but at the same time, I'm telling you, she probably wasn't even the one that made the most money. It was the people around her that did it. And I don't say around her. I'm saying whoever actually dropped that project probably made a nice shiny penny, and their name's probably not anywhere near that shit. So Ricky said some dude put $1 million on it, bro. I heard so many different stories. People were like, I put my life savings. I'm like, I don't even feel bad, bro. I don't even feel bad, honestly. Like, why would you do something like that, bro? It's just insane. This is one of the projects that got dropped on Binance as of a few days ago. You can see that it got dropped and boom, this thing shot up like crazy. Chain GPT. Is this like an AI project, I would imagine? I was reading the description. AI blockchain and analytics. Nice. Yeah, it's AI solutions. Oh, yeah. Pretty dope. Well, listen, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. We have a big day tomorrow ahead of us. Obviously, tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to do a morning stream. But if I do change my mind, make sure you have the little bell that's like there on the page on YouTube. Have that clicked, seriously, so whenever tomorrow, if I do it off the whim, I'm thinking about it. I might do a morning stream tomorrow for the CPI report just because it is going to be a big thing, a big market mover. So we might stream tomorrow morning. So we'll see how it goes. But other than that, I think we're going to be solid. Hopefully we get a good CPI report tomorrow dropping. And, and the markets can kind of you can see, bro, this thing wants to absolutely rip. So hopefully we get some good numbers tomorrow, guys. If Bitcoin does rip, guys, I'm telling you, the alts, meme coins are going to be right behind it. So with that being said, guys, have a good night tonight. Be safe out there. I'll be back here tomorrow. Like I said, hopefully maybe we'll have that morning stream. Turn on your notifications, and I'll drop it in the Discord as well if we do it in the morning. So that'll be 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. So get some sleep. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow regardless, all right?